Hi, everybody. This is Matthew Williams, soccer director for America Scores, often called Coach Matthew. I am joined by Ramona Paul, or Coach Ramona, who is a program coordinator with America Scores, Cleveland as well. We're going to be doing a series of videos about positions, the four main positions on the field: goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and forwards. But today we're going to start with the goalkeeper. Ramona, how are you today?
I'm doing real well, thank you.
Great. So a goalkeeper is a really unique position because obviously that is the only position that can use their hands. What do you see as the other importance and the main roles of a goalkeeper?
Yeah, the goalkeeper is a very unique position. It's your last line of defense, usually the person closest to, in most situations, closest to your own goal. They have those special advantages of being able to use their hands, but many times a goalkeeper can use any part of their body to stop the ball, so many will use their feet as well. Their sole purpose is to be out there stopping shots, but also to communicate with their teammates, and they can see the whole field. And if there's a goal kick or something like that, then the attack can start with them as well.
Yeah, I love that comment about using their whole body. I remember playing goalie as a kid and as in high school and even into an adulthood, and it's like, yeah, the advantage is using your hands, but sometimes you just got to throw that foot out there and
Right.
Stop that ball from getting into that goal no matter what happens.
Any part of your body will do.
Yeah, exactly. So talking about that, using our whole bodies, moving around, what are the physical and technical skills that a goalkeeper needs to possess?
So unlike the other field positions, goalkeepers will need to work a little bit more on their hand-eye coordination because they have added tasks like throwing and catching, as well as not every shot is going to come right to them. Some might be up into the side, so jumping comes into play. Players are taught to shoot low and in the corners, so then diving becomes part of it as well.
Definitely.
So agility is really important for goalkeepers, and that's the ability to change direction smoothly and quickly. So you're basically reacting to whatever shot might be coming your way. But like we said, since any part of your body can get on the ball, punching is another really important tool that goalkeepers can practice. But having those fast reflexes are the most important thing. So anytime you're training kind of those physical and technical sides, it's having a really quick reaction time to stuff. So whatever the task might be, but seeing something and reacting with your whole body right after is like the best training possible.
Right. So reaction, being alert is definitely another kind of key point. Oftentimes with the goalkeeper, when you're watching a game, there's a lot of action on the soccer field, but it's not always right there in front of that goal. What do you think are some of like the mental characteristics that a goalie needs to possess? Because there are times where you're just kind of alone on the field.
Absolutely. It takes a very particular kind of person to really thrive in that situation, though we would encourage anyone to try it because there are some skills that you can learn. But having that sort of focus and concentration when the action might be 100 yards away from you, but being able to follow it, because you might go a whole game without touching the ball, and then all of a sudden one moment you're center stage. So being focused, having that concentration, and being very aware of what's going on because things could change at any moment. But other really, really important mental skills for goalkeepers is being resilient, because no matter what, goals will be scored. That's the nature of the game. And you might have an amazing game and still one shot gets past you. So if you feel like you get down on yourself after things like that, then goalkeeping might not be the easiest job because you really need to believe that even if this one went in, that I can make a difference so the next one won't. So having that kind of bravery to keep trying, whether it's coming out to stop somebody that's dribbling at you, or just feeling brave enough to say, you know what, they scored one, but I'm going to hold my head high and stand on this line and go again and be resilient. I mean, that's really what makes an exceptional goalkeeper. But even if it's something that can be a little scary to some people at first, giving yourself a chance to play in goal, you might find that you build some of those skills without even knowing it.
Right. Yeah, I think the comment you made earlier about being on center stage and having the bright light shine on you, But yet that might not be your finest moment. Like you
Right.
said, I mean, the ball could get through you. And how do you react in that moment? And I, as a former goalkeeper and coaching a lot of goalkeepers, I really talk to them about that. You know, you got to kind of live in the moment, play for the moment. And if it doesn't go your way, you kind of have to put it aside and start again. Because, you know, you have to be there for your teammates and things like that. So I think that is definitely a really big characteristic. So talking kind of going back, looking over, so we're talking about the goalkeeper, we're talking about, you know, the importance of the position. They are the only person that can use their hands on the field. It is in that designated goal box area, penalty area of the field. You know, their role is obviously vitally important in helping to defend that goal, and keeping goals out. Physically, jumping, diving, kind of agility factors, quick thinking, quick reflexes, hand-eye coordination, all very important. But that resiliency factor, being brave, kind of stepping up, having confidence, it's a real leadership role on the soccer field, to say the least.
I would say to also an important thing for people who are in a game that aren't playing in goal is making sure that they contribute to that goalkeeper feeling resilient, because we oftentimes, at whatever level we're at, tend to, some of the blame gets put that way in that direction because the goalkeeper is your last line of defense, like we said at the beginning. But we all know that the ball doesn't start there. It has to get past everyone to get back to that point. So just like you said, goalkeepers are often leaders because of they're staying in the game the whole time maybe, or the position that they're in to communicate. But they also need the support of their teammates to make them that leader and to make them that anchor, because you could have a lot of power to help your team in that position. But it needs to go both ways, because that goalkeeper might need to be boosted up a little bit more than other positions as well.
Yeah. And I think that communication skill is another factor that, like, we think of all the physical talents, and yes, you have to have them, and but that confidence and then the ability to communicate it out, because you are seeing the whole field. You're behind the play. You can see kind of the openings, and even on the attack, you know, growing up and playing the position, I would often call out open players when we were trying to score, more so than even on the defensive side. So
absolutely, it's a way for
really
the
opens you
goalkeeper
up
to be involved in even in the attack.
Yeah. And I love the idea, and for our coaches that are listening, you know, run a practice for goalkeepers. Get everyone a chance to participate. Get everyone a chance to learn the position, because the last thing you want to be doing on a Friday or a Thursday afternoon or game day, whenever it is, and saying like, oh, we need a goalie, and then kind of looking around and just pointing to some kid. You know, you want that child, you want that player to have confidence to say, yes, I can step in because I've trained, I've learned the position. So very big for our coaches. And then parents and players, remember that, you know, that's just one aspect to the game, is playing goalie. And we need to support them. And even if a goal is scored, you know, we're a team. We get scored on together, and we score goals together. So
absolutely.
So I would say, you know, keep watching. We're going to talk about other positions as we go, but goalkeepers, we don't want them to feel like they're all by themselves. So let's support our goalies.
Absolutely. You know, in any training session, there's always some way that you can alter it, whether it's a passing drill and whoever is going to be the goalkeeper that day picks up the ball every time it's passed to them and then rolls it out. There's always ways to make them feel involved. And I think that's a way in which soccer coaching and that environment is changed over the last few years, is making sure that goalkeeper is not singled out, because they do have a very unique job and maybe extra pressures, different pressures than everyone else, but they need to be trained as part of the team, because as you just said perfectly, we concede together and we score together. So everyone shares that.
Yep. Very good. All right. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.